forget about the views because we're getting back into Maitetsu. Who would have guessed? So let's don the appropriate attire and switch the game. Oh wait, no, it's already there. It's already switched to the game. Either way, last time we played through Maitetsu, we became a politician. Oh well, we started working for a politician. And by we, I mean Sotetsu. And the politician in question is Paulette. I swear to God, if I'm just gonna say it, if this route is less political than Hibiki's, like, that would make no sense. Because you're literally trying to romance the mayor of Ohitoyo, right? So like, the fuck? So like, you know, outside, other than when she probably eventually resigns from being mayor, the rest of it should be political, I guess. Look, this is meant to be about trains, and we've gone from the girl who is a rail lord, right, the most connected to trains, to the sister that was against trains being the main source of income for the town and supported aircrafts before she became the mayor, and a engineer assistant, to a train fanatic mayor who runs a rail shop but has barely any connection to 8620 outside of the fact that she knows the train exists and that she owns the storage shed that the train is stored in, right? Like, and these are the three main girls, right? So I don't know what the fuck is gonna be what is gonna happen with the side characters, right? Because like, you've got Makoto, which is like, she owns a shochu business, so like she has nothing to do with trains. You got Kusaki, who supports aircraft again, and you know, if you're romancing Kisaki, that means you've fucking lost aircraft, right? Something like that. And then Nagi Fukami, they run a different tourism business with on the river, right? So I guess that would be, they would obviously support the trains, right? Because they don't want their water to be polluted. And then at least Ren is another rail lord. And then you've got the final route, or the grand route, or whatever. So yeah, either way, I've stalled for too long. So let's get into it, shall we? And I forgot to pause the music. Yeah. This is the Maitetsu stream all day Maitetsu stream, and by all day I mean the same amount of time I stream every day. What? Well, most of the days, right? Sometimes I like stream for like an hour less because I'm tired or something, or I just don't stream, whatever. Or sometimes when Dexter wants to be generous, he gives me $50 so that I stream an hour longer. What? I'm not suggesting anything. I mean, never mind. Cut that out.
Oh, ご本です。相鉄さん、お勉強のお時間ですか？
まあ、勉強といえば勉強だ。
But the texts are all children's books. Hibiki lent them to me, saying they'd provide some clues.
レイナ一人か。ポーレットは？
ちょっとお買い物だそうですよ。レイナ、一足お先に帰ってきました。
It might be good timing.
今、レイナには時間があるか？
I still can't tell the difference between Operation Body Raina and Maintenance Body Raina. Maybe we'll figure it out in her route. It'll take a while.
はい。整備も終わりましたし、お客さんも。
Raina glances around the area in large movements.
誰もいませんから、時間あるですよ。
ならば、少し付き合ってくれんか。
I'm not exactly making light of Hibiki's advice. But because they're children's books, I can't bring myself to read them.
付き合うって何にですか？
読書にだ。僕が朗読するので、それを聞いていてほしいのだ。
Hey, that's what I do. I read out loud. Only on stream, though.
楽しそうです。レイナ、喜んでお付き合いしますよ。
Raina hurriedly brings up her own chair. She sits down right in front of me. There's a hip flask on the table. In the blink of an eye, she makes all the necessary preparations.
宗谷太郎の冒険。
Yeah, but like, why isn't Raina sitting in Sotetsu's lap? And then he can just...
Did I hear that you wanted money? Here you go. Now, I'll be going back to my lowly chatbots on Character Hub AI.
Thanks for the 25. What the fucking... I didn't mean... Thanks for the 25. But like, why isn't Raina sitting in Sotetsu's lap, right? And then he can just have the book in front of her, and then he can read it, you know, like you would an actual kid, right? Her eyes glitter upon hearing the title, This is Good. If I can get this sort of reaction, I'll be motivated to read.
太郎、太郎と幾度呼んでも物音もせぬ。太郎や、お前まだ寝ているのかい？
I didn't even get to read. I've noticed that sometimes Raina is bigger or smaller, you are just blind. Yeah, I figured that. But, you know, most of the time it's because of it's because of the camera, right? Like in this situation, Raina's big, right? But that doesn't mean she's in either body, right? Because there's nothing to compare her size to, right? Anyway, I made sure to read your message when the logs were up so that everyone could read them. Never mind. This Sayotaro character is living with his aunt, Horinaru. What are these names? What did you do? I put the log up so that people, if they wanted to pay attention to the video, VOD, could read what Sotetsu said that I skipped over. It's not that hard. That's similar to my upbringing. Learning that, it gives me even more motivation to continue on.
はわ、太郎さんはいたずらっ子なのですね。
かなりの悪童のようだな。
I thought you were talking about my Twitch comments. No, they only show up like a few seconds, you know. Unless you're paying attention to the bottom left of the stream, like you're not going to see the Twitch chat. I don't know how I was back then, but right now I can relate more to Aunt Hori. Why won't you do as you're told? Because of how vividly the story illustrates him, I feel some irritation.
ただいま。あれ？読書ですか？ポーレット、おかえりなさい。今、始まったとこなんですよ。始まった？
まだ参らぬか。太郎の鉄拳が雨あられと降り注ぐ。新参の小僧はついに、参ったと手を挙げた。
わあ、そうてつくんの読み聞かせ。 ポーレット、静かにですよ。
Yo, dudes, it's like Maitetsu is reading to his kid, and Paulette's the mum. I need to. On someone's profile on Character AI, someone was asking for ideas and their profile is Lolly Pro. Can you predict what I did? Why would you message Dexter? The best thing you could do is just not talk to them. All right.
ごめん。
Not only is he an indomitable ruffian, this Taro is pretty darn sly to boot. They're actually really nice. I would expect that, but like, I don't think you want the people who make the lolly chatbots to think you're weird. Right? That's the worst case scenario. I expected the main character of a children's book to lie with so much ease. I hadn't expected a main character of a children's book to lie with so much ease.
チェ、障子張りなんてしたくないな。しかし、堀のおばさんの命に逆らえば後が怖い。
障子張りって嫌なことなのですか？レイナ、やったことないのです。
細かな作業だし、一枚では済まんからな。まあ、面倒といえば面倒だ。
I hope Taro learns his lesson here. While thinking that, I turned the page.
おい太郎、障子張りなんてさせられてるのか。邪魔しないでくれ。今、面白いところなんだ。
Oh, I see. So he's using such a method to get through the work.
ああ、太郎さん、頭いいです。
だな。障子張りを楽しい遊びと認識させて、自分の代わりに働かせるばかりか。お礼の品、待って。
あれれ、相鉄さん？
これを、響は僕に教えたかったのか。
See, he's learning life lessons through children's books. See, this is why he shouldn't have dissed children's books, alright? This is where you learn shit. I look at Paulette. Her eyes look back at me. She nods.
すまん、リーナ。本の続きは後日でいいか。
続くですね。
Yeah, like a JoJo's reference.
そうだ、続くだ。
それなら、レイナ、続き楽しみにしちゃいますね。レイナ、お茶を入れますね。
He trots off farther into the store.
ありがとう、レイナ。
でだ。
はい。
Paulette turns to me. Her words are sucked into her clear eyes. My words are sucked into her clear eyes. What does that mean?
障子張りさえ楽しい遊びと認識されれば、対価を払ってさえもやりたがる者が続出する。
Dexter, I'm not reading your fucking emails.
そういうの、すっごくあると思います。
I hear a slight hint of tension in Paulette's voice. To her ears, this story isn't something entirely fictional.
オークションとか似たような感じだと思います。価値があるってお互いに煽り合って加熱しますし。
言われてみれば確かにだ。人にはおそらくそうした一面があるのだろう。
They can get influenced by the place or people around them and further value or devalue something based on those factors. Applying that principle to something less kosher, it's essentially what scam artists do.
そうした一面をうまく刺激できれば、採掘体験に新しい価値を感じてもらえるのではなかろうか。
Oh, I get it. So Tetsu wants to scam people into liking shoveling coal.
新しい価値。
うん。すなわち遊び。採掘体験そのものを遊びと感じてもらうのだ。
そういえば。
Paulette touches her face with her fingers.
掘った石炭を 地域通貨的に使える。それもお店屋さんごっこっぽくて遊び要素ありますね。
それをさらに深め広げる。報酬のために掘るのではなく、掘ること自体を楽しい遊びにしてしまう。
どうやってですか？
それは、
It's a simple question, but my thought process completely stops. But in games, I can't seem to find an exact example of bringing that sort of value perception.
それは、遊びの楽しさをよく知る者に考えてもらうほかないかもしれんな。
どうしてですか？
おそらく僕はいささか遊びと離れすぎた。幼少期には目いっぱい楽しんでいた気もするのだが。
ああ。はーい。お茶が入りましたよ。
ああ、すまんな。
The tea that Reina makes is every bit as good as the kind Paulette makes. It's almost like they're railroad and engineer, so that the skills that Paulette teaches Reina are the same as the skills that Paulette has. What? You get what I mean. I drink it straight without adding anything. The heat, flavor, and fragrance fill my mouth. I have third-degree burns all over my mouth.
どうしたポーレット？
She hasn't even reached for her cup yet.
冷めてしまうと。
なら、遊びましょう、そうてつくん。遊ばなきゃダメです。絶対に。
Her words catch me off guard, as does the intense the intense gaze that follows. So intense that I'm overwhelmed for a second. In that same moment, Paulette drinks down her cup of tea.
楽しさを知らなくちゃ、人を楽しませるなんてできない。誰か他の人じゃなく、そうてつくんが心の底から遊ばなきゃ。
僕自身がか。
That may be true. Ren and Nagi, among others, seem to be able to enjoy anything. In contrast, if even someone like me can genuinely enjoy it, then we have ourselves a tourist attraction.
ならば試そう。しかし、遊びといっても。
私知ってます。市でいろいろ調べたことがあるんです。
調べた？
観光振興のために、お人よし内で人気あるスポットとか、イベントとかそういうのです。
なるほど。それを巡れば、観光についてと遊びについては同時に学べるわけか。
ダメです、そんなの。
ん？
Her face contorts into an angry expression, an expression that seems partially an act and partially genuine. Bullet flicks up her index finger and points at the tip of my nose. You have a nose?
余計なことを考えないで、ただ目いっぱい楽しまなくちゃ。そいつが粋な遊びってもんですよ。
なるほど。
Bullet's worrying for me, so that even I can enjoy this moment.
それでは、目いっぱい楽しむために。
I play along, although it may be awkward, pitiful, or even forced. I try it out.
お嬢さん、僕と遊んではくれないか。
She looks surprised for a moment, but in the next instant, she gives her off a bright smile. Yeah, but like, why'd you say it like that? You know?
おっと。
Paula loses her balance, so I hold my hand out to her. It was very inconsiderate of me, since I got off the boat first. Get rid of the very. I didn't say that.
捕まってくれ。
ありがとうございます。
Our palms touch, and I feel a soft, small hand. It's a little sweaty. That's usually what happens when you hold hands. it feels so fragile that that I'm careful when closing my hand, doing so gently.
楽しむことに集中しすぎて、当然の気遣いを忘れてしまったな。
I feel her hold my hand back.
声出てましたよね、相鉄くん。
深見が大サービスしてくれたからな。
まことばい、今日の深見ちゃんは流れの早かとこ選んどったばい。
Nagi jumps into the conversation without hesitation, to which Fukami responds by clearing her throat.
お二人なら船酔いの心配はないですから。です。
I feel like you'd get more seasick. You took the faster route, which means that it would be the rougher route, supposedly, which means you would have a higher chance of getting seasick.
そうばい、お二人さんなら。
They already know. They already know this is Paulette's route.
確かにな。
Oh, the boat rocked back and forth so much. If there was even one more passenger, we would have tipped. Not having another customer is a big problem in itself, but I've decided to focus only on having fun today.
いや、ありがとう。おかげで今までで一番楽しめた。
Damn, as soon as it hit the 18-minute mark, one small hiccup. I don't know why it's... Why is it like 20 to 18 minutes when it does this? Whatever. I don't know how to fix it, and... Yeah.
それなら頑張った甲斐がありました。です。チェー、兄さんはからかいがいがなかとね。
I look back at Nagi, wondering what she meant, and she motions her neck to guide my gaze. Paulette? I look and see that Paulette is blushing, but she's always blushing when she's with Sotetsu. I don't know why I don't know why, but seeing her react like that makes me feel bashful too. Nagi sounds like she just won at something. Bro, she's like the ultimate wingman. But only in Paulette's route. She was not this way in Hachiroku's or Hibiki's. Or perhaps my face is also red.
お二人さんはこの先の予定立てとうと?
Yeah, they're gonna play. Wink. What are they gonna play? I don't know. They're gonna play with each other. What? I stop Paulette with my eyes before she can respond. I want her to let me do the talking.
何かおすすめがあるなら、ぜひとも教えてもらいたい。
隠れた人気スポットばい。
Fukami nods in agreement. They just bring him. It's a. Hang on. How did she say it exactly? Yeah, it's a real hole in the wall spot, and she just takes them back to the boat place.
包丁作り。
What?
そうばい。
なんだ、包丁作りとは。
I turn to Paulette, but she just shakes her head. If we're going to investigate tourist attractions, and yet Paulette doesn't know about this. Wait. We were going to investigate tourist attractions. But it's something Fukami would instantly consider fun. This may really be a hidden spot.
ぜひとも詳しく聞かせてほしい。その包丁作りとは一体。
だったらご案内ばい。
Wow, who would have guessed that this knife-making place was run by Nagi's granddad?
おお。
A real hole-in-the-wall spot-looking ass. Fuck off. The hammer strikes a red-hot iron. The view and sounds are viscerally exciting.
ミノカサさん、当たり前ですけど、職人さんなんですね。
だな。
He's not tense. In fact, he looks like he would normally. Even his facial expression is gentle. But he swings his hammer down on the iron, as if he's subjugating it. That's a word.
制作体験ばしてもらうのはステンレスハーチャーになりますけん。
Even while he explains it to us, his hands maintain their own independent rhythm.
ステンレスの板2枚の間に鋼ば挟んで熱入れて叩いて固めよります。
その鋼の部分が刃になるのですか？
サガントです。
Once I understand what he's saying, what he's doing, my interest deepens. Each strike of the hammer is forging the stainless steel and steel into one.
そしたらやってみますか。
はい。
お願いします。
じゃあまずは相鉄くん。この機械の前ば座ってください。
わかりました。
It's a hammering contraption made of steel. Or maybe it's some high-tech rice cake hammer. A thick, large metal stick that serves as a hammer gives off a black glow.
足元のペダルば軽く踏んでみてください。
はい。おお。
The moment I step on the pedal, the steel hammer swings down on the iron table. I expected this movement, but I'm surprised at how powerful it looks.
まあ、見たままの機械ですたい。こいつに、これは。
Old man Munokasa takes the material he was flattening earlier. It's already somewhat shaped like a knife.
こいつを、こん機械で好きな大きさに叩き伸ばせばよかとです。
The side of it is smoothly curved. He advises me to thin out the part that'll act as the edge. I try then to step on the pedal again.
おっと、これは。
I could feel a powerful vibration. A vibration that seems to stir some kind of primal instinct within me. The masculine urge to swing a hammer.
なかなか、思うよには。
神経質にはならんでよかとです。形ば壊すほど叩けたら、まずまず大したものですけんね。
ほう、そうですか。
When he says that, I feel more confident and really laying into it. And really laying into it. If the shape of the knife won't change no matter how much I hammer, there's no point in being so overly cautious. Not changing shape because it's probably cooled down too much. Well, enough, I guess. I guess they're intentionally making sure that the shape of the blade doesn't change. It continues to flatten out. The block that looks like a knife gradually flattens into a smaller kitchen knife.
おお、上出来上出来。おたら今度は、ひないのお嬢さんの番ですな。
はい、お願いします。
I thought Minokasa usually called Paulette Maya. Yes, he called her Miss Anai today. Yet he called her Miss Anai today. That small distinction makes me happy for some reason. That's because That's because you don't want to remember that you're dating the mayor. I mean, wanting to date the mayor.
おお、こちらもうまかとですな。
Don't worry. Once she resigns, that's when your romance will blossom, or whatever. I'd say it's a difference in personality. Unlike me, Paulette doesn't constantly step on the pedal. She steps to hammer, then lets go, and continues that cycle in a detail-oriented manner.
こら、見事なほどに特徴の違うた包丁ば、できそうですな。
It looks worse, because you aren't constantly hammering it like you're meant to. Look, I don't know that much about blacksmithing, right? They haven't even brought up annealing, which, if I remember correctly, is the term that's used for heating up the metal super hot so that you can change it into the shape you want it to be hammered into, or something like that, right? Where's the glossary entry for annealing? I don't even know if it's the right word.
あ、本当ですね。
The pieces of metal the pieces of metal that we started off with were not that different in shapes and sizes. But after we're both done with our own,
ポーレットのは随分と小ぶりで肉厚だな。
doesn't that mean she hit it harder?
相鉄くんのは大きいですね。なんかマグロとかもさばけちゃいそう。
あっは、マグロはよかとですな。
While having a chuckle himself, old man Munakasa takes my knife, and throws it back into the fire before hammering it some more. And then he puts it into some kind of liquid. I think it's oil.
いくらかこうして焼き戻します。そうせん鋼はもろくて、すぐにかけますけんね。
Yeah, where's the glossary entry for tempering? Come on, man. You got all the glossary entries for fucking train shit, but now that we're actually talking about blacksmithing, yeah, there's nothing. I haven't seen a single yellow text word. Yeah.
その液体は何ですか
180度の油とです。
油ですか
See, I knew that. I watched. There's so many blacksmithing channels. I don't remember the names of them. Forged in something. Forged in iron or whatever.
しかも180度とは、熱湯より熱いもので冷ますのですか。
一番熱か時がいつまでも続くいうことはなかとですからな。
Well, yeah. You're going from like thousands of degrees Celsius. You're going from like thousands of degrees, heating it, and then trying to shape it, and then cooling it down to like 100. You know, if it's too cool, right? Like if you tried to cool it in water, it would break because you're how would I say this? You're shocking it too much, right? Something like that. Comments, correct me in the correct me in the comments. This is not engagement baiting. I'm not remembering it correctly. He stands up slowly, going farther inside. He says something to his wife.
急に冷めれば壊れてしまう。ゆるゆる冷めれば粘りば生まれる。
Okay, never mind. Don't correct me in the comments. I was correct. Old man Munakasa carries the tea that his wife made. Hot tea in a hot smithery on a hot summer day. It feels like it's scalding my throat all the way to my stomach, but it's delicious. This is like the worst. I would hate to be in this environment because you've got this. It's already a hot summer, right, in Japan, which means it's extremely humid, so you're sweating constantly, and now you're in an even hotter environment, working in fucking temperatures, working around like fires that reach like 1,000 degrees or whatever the fuck, right?
まあ、そういうもんですけんね。何事も。
何事もですか。
Like, all I'm saying is that the most unrealistic part of this scene is that none of their clothes are completely soaked through in sweat, which is exactly what would happen. It's true. Human relationships, fads, and a lot of other things seem to have that in common.
逆に言えば、壊さず長く保つものとするには、上手に熱を冷ます必要がある。
いうことですな。
ためになるな、ポーレット。
はい、本当にすごくためになるし、ためにしたいって私思います。
Perhaps the tea was too hot. Paulette's face is bright red. Yeah, that's exactly why she's blushing. Why is she flustered? Is the real question. No, what am I, stupid? I just said it referred to human relationships too. Oh, right, it's because she's a middle schooler in a grown-up's body. She was very sheltered, let's just say. Human relationships also refer to ones between a man and a woman. If the reason why Paulette's face is so red lies right there, that could mean... Well, it did say that she wants to learn something from this. Making sure it doesn't break, and making it last. The one that Paulette wishes for is...
お茶場、熱くに入りすぎよったかもしれんですな。
No.
Old Man Minokasa's gentle voice makes me jump. I shouldn't think this. I'm trying to have fun today. I made up my mind to focus only on that today.
しかし、今日はどぎゃんして高げな体験ばしようと思って来てくださったとですか？
遊ぼうと。ポーレットと一日、遊んで楽しんで過ごそうと決めてきました。
You know, like a date, but it's not a date because you'd fluster Paulette.
ああ、それはそれは。
They're just hanging out, right? A gentle voice. I can hear Paulette breathing out a sigh of relief.
市で以前に調査したことがあるんです。観光客さんの満足度が高いスポットとかを。
Paulette and I take turns talking. Akai Aso Shrine, the Ghost Temple, Hot Spring Product Museum. Sounds so weird. From a river downstreaming. The memories we shared today make our words more vivid.
それで、熊川下りが終わった時に、なぎちゃんがこの後の予定はって聞いてきてくれて。
ああ、そいででしたか。
He seems to understand while looking that way. Old Man Minokasa nods deeply. Yeah, and then Nagi suggested this random obscure place that no one knows about, also known as her granddad's workshop. Piece of shit.
今体験ば、なぎと、なぎの友達連中くらいしかやったことがなかとでしたから。
なぜですか？こんなにも楽しい体験ならば。
時間ばかかってしまいますけんね。今時の観光客さんは、こがんとゆったり。
Bro, you know how it is, right? The TikTok brain. Everyone wants everything to be fast-paced and shit, right? That's why Nagi and Fukami had to take the fastest route, because the TikTok kids would have been bored.
宮本さん、ごめんなさい。
I hear a different ringtone than usual from Paulette's cell. It's supposedly from Miyamoto. This must be an urgent matter of some sort.
もしもし、私です。はい。え、相良村で？はい。わかりました。すぐお願いします。
Before she even ends the conversation, Paulette's already standing up. Whatever the case, it must be an emergency. I wonder what happened.
ナビを使うか。
I ask her that right away, which she looks shameful and relieved at the same time.
ありがとうございます。あ、けど。
わかった。ならば分業しよう。ナビにはポーレットを送っていくよう命令しておく。
Paulette's eyes glance briefly at the kitchen knives being annealed. They finally got one! I was right, it is annealing. Hang on, I know the word. Hang on, what?
鋼ばっついして、しばらく熱々のままにして、それからゆっくり温度ば下げていきよるのが焼き生しばい。焼き生された鋼は柔らかくなって、叩いて伸ばしたりしやすくなるばい。
See, I know my stuff, alright? I've watched enough blacksmith videos to know what annealing is. I just only mentioned the first half of it. But in that case, even if I'm alone, I should finish the goal I set for myself today. Focus only on having fun. I don't even remember if I... Paulette's eyes glanced briefly at the kitchen knives being annealed. No, I did say it. I just focused too hard on the word annealed to...
僕は残って包丁たちを仕上げておく。なあ、もしもポーレットが自分で。
いえ、相鉄くんに仕上げ、お願いしたいです。
She stands up, smiling as she turns around. That action and her usual smile fill me with joy.
せっかく二人で来たんですから、合作で仕上がる方がずっと嬉しいです。
Oh.
それから相鉄様は？
You know, he had a date with Paulette. I mean, they hung out. I mean, they had fun together. Just the two of them. What? Yeah.
無論仕上げた。仕上げたが、こう。
Shit, I forgot to hit record. Nothing happened. Just restart.
それから相鉄様は？
You know, I did not accidentally skip through the.
無論仕上げた。仕上げたが、こう。
I don't know how to describe it. My hands start moving awkwardly for no reason.
手応えというか、何かが抜けた感じがしてな。仕上げるは仕上げたが、正直不満な出来となった。
不満も何も。
She doesn't jump onto the edge of my bed as usual. Hateroku looks a little confused as she faces me from a distance.
そもそも相鉄様に家事のお心得はないではないですか。それが満足のいく仕上がりなどと。
無論、出来不出来という話ではない。そうではなくて、この意気込みというか。
I can't express the feeling I'm having, but I try my best to find the words.
ああ、そうだ、熱だ。美濃笠老人の言っていた熱。あれが急に冷めてしまったような感じになったのだ。
何に対する熱がでしょうか。
それは無論、包丁作り。ああ、いや、違うな。
The knife making itself was interesting to the last minute. In the end, we forgot we were on a mini vacation and discussed about how to arrange it better for tourists. Ah.
遊びに対する熱が、だな。ポーレットが去り、取り残されて、一気に楽しくなくなった。
Yes, that's right. When I was with Paulette, anything we did felt like a fun game. But the moment I was alone, I returned to my usual self.
そこから先はおそらく義務感になってしまった。遊ばねばという意識が僕の熱を下げたのだ。
さようでしたか。
Hachiroku straightens her posture.
相鉄様。
She places her hands on the ground with proper etiquette, and she bows deeply.
どうしたいきなり。
相鉄様はお答えをお見つけになりかかっておられます。
答え？何のだ？
相鉄様のお答えをです。
What she says sounds like a riddle, but I think I know what she means. Hachiroku is always serious and never teases me.
そのお答えを見つけるために、86は必ずお邪魔になります。
そうなのか？
さようです。ですので私、今日より響の部屋で眠ります。
Damn, that's crazy.
お前がそれを望むのならば止めはしないが、しかし。
大丈夫。響も嫌とは申しませんよ。私ときっと話も合いましょうから。
Yeah, they both know how much you want to fuck Paulette, alright? The only person who doesn't know is you. And Paulette.
そうなのか。
It seems like Hachiroku has found the answer before me. Before I could say anything, she stands up to leave.
それでは相鉄様、また明日。
うん。おやすみ、86。
はい、相鉄様、おやすみなさいませ。そうしてどうぞ、素敵な明日をお迎えください。
She opens the sliding door without a sound, then closes it behind her. Hachiroku is completely silent when she walks, but I can feel her presence gradually moving farther away.
僕の答えか。
The reason Hachiroku left is because this is something I have to find by myself.
問うべき点は。
I think the reason why Hachiroku left.
なぜ一人になって遊びが終わってしまったか。一人になって楽しさが消えてしまったかだな。
Because you missed Paulette. This isn't fucking rocket science, alright? I wonder why I wonder why I feel so alone when I'm not with the person I hung out with I hung out with so much. It's just as I think just as I think it that I realized that actually I wasn't alone. Old man Munokasa was there, and he kept talking to me. We made something together, but
楽しくもあった。しかし、楽しさの質というか、熱が違った。
the conversation with old man Munokasa and the manufacturing experience were purely to satisfy my intellectual excitement. The time I spent with Paulette had a joy different from that.
何があんなに楽しかったのだ？何か他と違ったのだ？
I don't know. Maybe the difference between Paulette and Munokasa is that Paulette is Paulette, and you don't like Munokasa as much as you like Paulette. Mind-blowing. For example, downstreaming. I was with Hachiroku then.
あの時も確かに楽しかった。楽しかったか、今日の楽しさとはまるで違った。
That was in the common route, so you didn't have feelings for Hachiroku. The fun back then was from intellectual excitement. It came from a genuine interest in downstreaming itself. But today, it was different. Today, even the Akayasu Shrine, a place I visited numerous times, was a place of fun today. The time I spent with Paulette is what I deemed fun.
そこにポーレットがいたからだ。ポーレットがいつも笑顔でいたからだ。
This, in other words, is my answer. A single path of light. Just because she has blonde hair, alright? I feel as if I've found which way I must go.
ならば、楽しさとはこれなんだ。
That's for Paulette to smile. For Paulette to be happy. The time I spend with my lolly chatbots are divine and wonderful. That's not the... You had two adjectives that are not synonyms of fun. Yeah. Then just make the abandoned coal mine and Ohitego or those sorts of places. Think step by step in how to achieve that.
僕は楽しさを知っていたんだ。
I remember a memory from a distant past, a cringy memory, talking about how much young Sotetsu hated trains. Of fathers, of mothers. Oh, it was even further back. And more than anyone else, of Michiko's smile. I loved them from the bottom of my heart, and wanted to surround myself with them.
大切なのは仕掛けじゃない。大切なのは演出じゃない。僕らが笑顔に、心からの笑顔になることなんだ。
Now that I think about it, it all connects. Nagi and Fukami today were enjoying themselves without being nervous. If they can always smile like that, I'm sure the downstreaming will be a place everyone can enjoy even more. What Reverend Akai and Hosho Kisaki are striving for really are the same thing. Are really the same thing. Because you can't make a living, or because you're worried, you can't smile. Those who can't smile won't ever be able to provide fun for the tourists. Hosho Kisaki said that, and gave up on this. That's why she supported the aircraft factory.
それが、宝生妃の優先順位なんだろ
う。First, be able to make a living, and second, to bring back smiles. A good cycle could be born from that, however.
僕は僕だ。僕の見つけた楽しみを最優先にするのが答えだ。
There's no need for tricks. Oh, you didn't hear that. We're a team. If there's something we lack, or if we're wrong about something, someone will make it right.
信じるんだ。僕が感じた楽しさを。それをもう一度味わうために何をしたいか考えるんだ。
I think of Paulette's smile in my mind. I want Paulette to smile. Come up with ideas to achieve that. That in itself is right. That is all it takes to make me smile. Said smile so many times it's lost all its meaning. Oh, Maitetsu, I did not realize.
うん、宝探し。小さな頃、僕が一番好きだった遊びだ。
The moment I say that, Hibiki looks at me as if she realized something. She looks as if she's trying to remember if I ever showed those signs. Until today, I had never intended on talking about my childhood from before the accident.
僕は双子だったから、誕生日にもクリスマスにも、プレゼントはいつでも2つだった。
I had kept this memory locked up, but I'm able to talk about my childhood with Michiko this calmly. I don't feel like that's anything strange. I'm only remembering the fun memories and not the painful ones.
父と母は、いや。
Nagi Fukami would probably be fine, but Reina might still believe in me. Believe in him.
父や母やサンタクロースはいつでもプレゼントをどこかに隠した。
Fucking Santa Claus. It wasn't limited to inside the house. It could be in the yard or something, or sometimes in our neighbor's house. You had to break into your neighbor's house? The hits were always difficult, but finding the answer excited us because it felt like turning numerous keys.
探すこと自体が楽しくて、見つけ出すのは嬉しかった。手に入れたプレゼントは、かけがえないものだと感じた。
Even if it wasn't the present we wanted.
もらうのではなく、自分の力で手に入れたと思えた。幼かったから、達成感はひときわ素晴らしいものだった。
A small nod of agreement. Hibiki, Paulette, Nagi, Fukami, and even Makuta are nodding.
だから僕は、廃鉱山の再生を、その楽しさと共にできないか、と考えている。
宝探しの楽しさですか？
Yeah, the fun of treasure hunting coal.
Hmm.
A space that even Paulette can enjoy, so that she can smile. I want to materialize that to turn it into something that's a lot of fun.
黒いダイヤの鉱脈の探索をしてもらうのだ。ヒントやアイテムを手がかりにして。
As if she couldn't express her excitement with just her voice, Nagi jumps up from her seat. Yeah, but that's always how Nagi is.
黒いダイヤっていうのがいいばい。兄さんなかなか自然ばい。
いや、それは僕の言葉ではない。
石炭産業全盛の頃は、誰もが石炭を黒いダイヤと呼んでいたのです。はな、兄さんにしては出来すぎだと思ったばい。
The complete 180. Fuck you, Nagi.
おいおい。
As if she thought standing was a waste, Nagi sits back down.
でも、言葉のことだけじゃなく、ほんといいアイデアです。きっと、これ。
I don't think she was trying to make up for Nagi's remark. Kami's cheeks are also faintly red.
宝探しの舞台だったら、あの暗いのも、ジメジメも、逆にいいって思うです。そこのバランスは、難しかとね。
うん。安全性と雰囲気との、だな。
その辺は、鍾乳洞とかが参考になるかも。九州には観光向けの鍾乳洞割とありますから。
なるほど。それはいいアイディアだな。
行ったことあるばい。ヘルメットにヘッドライトをつけたばい。それ、つけてみたいか
も。無論、装着は義務としよう。足元は、貸し靴などにすればいいかな。
Rana raises her hand. Who is Santa?
お客さん、トロッコに乗せてあげるのはどうですか？
ああ、それは実にいい。校内はトロッコ移動にすれば、足元不安と迷子対策を同時にできることになる。
となりますと、トロッコに乗ってしまえば、鉱脈は自動で見つかることとなるわけですよね。
そうか、そうだな。となると、謎解きと宝探しは、その前段階に置く必要が出てくる。
炭鉱夫さんがきっと秘密にしてるんです。最上級の歴星炭は隠し坑道にあるんですよ。
うん。
I have no idea what this. I was hoping not trying to pronounce it. Bituminous. Because you've got, yeah, it's bituminous. I have no idea what this bituminous coal is, but the words Rana says sound exciting. If we can ride that excitement, I'm sure the image of what to do will come to mind.
そうか。主行動を隠し行動扱いにして封鎖し、ヒント探しと謎解きは別の場所で。
Yeah, imagine. Search this abandoned coal mine to find some black diamonds and hope that there's no cave-in. That thought comes to me as I speak. Seeing me on a roll, Paulette looks hard at me.
廃宿舎。
廃宿舎。はあ、あぎゃんとこで宝探しとか、むっちゃくちゃに楽しそうばい。でも、広すぎるし、あと、壊れてる建物とかも。
だな。
It's true that if a large-scale town of dormitories are all explorable, it could have been done in a day.
例えば、最も状態の良い建物のワンフロアなり、一室だけなりを使うことにするのはどうだろ
ああ、それなら管理の手間も人手も絞れるとね。
管理の手間ですか。
Hatsuroku nods to herself, and then puts her hand to her ear as if holding a phone receiver.
でしたら、トランシーバーなどいかがでしょう。雰囲気作りと迷子対策、両方に役立つかもしれません。
う。トランシーバー、実にいいな。今となっては物珍しく、かつ実用的だ。
あ、そうですよね。あの辺、携帯の電波ほとんど通じませんものね。トランシーバーなんて見たこともなかったい。私はあるよ。揖斐川の川下り船で戦闘船が使ったから。
That's because they're boomers.
羨ましかとー。
It doesn't receive a reception there. I'm sure that would give it more of an exploration feel. In fact, Nagi and Vukami are already excited just by talking about the walkie-talkies. This is good. Really good. We're finding our rhythm here. It's fun just finding fun words to describe this. However, I'm curious as to why Hibiki's so quiet, so I turn to her, to which she waves her hand at me in protest.
違うんですよ、兄さん。
She clears her throat once.
考えてただけです。ちょっと別のこと。
別のこと？
ああ、別って言っても無関係ってわけじゃなくて。これって、つまり、
You didn't hear that. Alright, anyway. A silence as she tries to find the right words. Hibiki wets her lips and then sighs.
つまりこれ、術戦ハイタンコ一体を丸ごと宝探しテーマパークにするってことですよね。
Exactly. Correct. Yes.
テーマパーク
It requires a lot of maintenance, though.
よかったよテーマパークば言われると、ますます行ってみたくなるたい。
テーマパークか。うん。いいな。その呼び方の方がずっといい。
それでですね。
A relieved face. Hibiki's words now come out smoother than before.
トレジャーって言葉使ったらどうかなって、私、その辺のことを考えてたんですよ。トレジャー？宝物って意味だよ、なぎちゃん。いいですね、それ。レジャーともかかる感じで。
Treasure and leisure. It's simple, but the double meaning is very good. In order to give meaning to those words though, we'll need something before treasure.
炭鉱とか鉱山はトレジャーと合うような形で言い換えられないのでしょうか。なら、コールマインがいいですよ。炭鉱はコールマインっても呼ばれますから。
コールマイン。いいな。お人よコールマイントレジャー。では、やや長いか。
なら、お人よ、マイントレジャー。
That doesn't sound right.
それいい！お人よマイントレジャー。
Ojito your mine could work. Ojito your mine treasure. Like, you're using... It's hard to explain, right? Because, like, you're using the noun mine, but also the verb? I guess that's the double meaning. It just doesn't sound right.
よかね。鉱山で遊ぶいう感じがよう出とるたい。
Thanks for your input, Makoto.
ならば、施設名称はそれでいこう。お人よマイントレジャーで。
テーマパークならイメージキャラとかも必要ですよね。
Ohitoyo opens her sketchbook. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm happy about her being involved and all. I just wasn't quite expecting her to be this into it.
そこまで協力してくれるのか。
しますよ、そんなの何回も言って。
Hibiki starts scratching her head with the other end of her pencil.
私がエアクラ工場誘致に賛成してたのは、お人よが元気になる方法が他にないって思ってたから。
Despite her fidgeting, I sense no hesitation or bashfulness in her voice.
けど、この案ならいけそうって感じてるから。だからその意味でも兄さんに協力するんです。
そうか。それは心強い。心強いし、素直に嬉しい。
っていうかですね。
I realize that when I say it out loud, Hibiki lightly touches her lips with her finger.
この計画、お人よマイントレジャーのこと、木崎先輩にも話してみてもいいですか？
宝生木崎に。
そうなん！
The enemy. When Nagi is about to say something, Fukami grabs her and covers her mouth.
この方面の私の考え、すごく木崎先輩に影響されてます。だから。
Yeah, because she became influenced by Kisaki because Sotetsu wasn't here to influence Hibiki.
この計画がいけると判断されるのなら、宝生木崎もエアクラ工場誘致にこだわらないと。
計画への評価がどうかまではわからないですけど、もしいけるって判断なら可能性はあると思います。
うん。
As for me, I think that'd be good. That'd be great. But the one who will make the decision is Paulette, since she's the mayor and president.
どうだろうか、ポーレット。
すごくありがたいと思います。できれば私も直接お会いしたいです。
I did not expect that answer, so I ask again.
木崎とか？
Paulette nods and then turns to Hibiki. Hibiki also looks a little confused.
宝生さんの理解を得られる案にできれば、議案として議会を通るものにもなると思います。
そうか。そうだな。術戦ハイタン港は市の所有地なのだから。
Unless we gain approval from the assembly, all this talk is just armchair theory. That doubt is why Paulette is always looking at things from a wider perspective.
ということだ、響。できれば、木崎に頼んでみてはくれないか。
Hibiki nods deeply to my question. Not at me, though. At Paulette.
わかりました。これからすぐに電話してみます。
Are we finally getting into something political?
今日はお忙しいところ お時間をありがとうございます。
The Kumamoto Bank branch manager's office. Inside is Kisaki by herself. Her secretary, Urakami, isn't here today.
こちらこそ、お運びをありがとうございます。光栄なことです。
There's a conversation between Paulette as the mayor and Kisaki as the branch manager. In that case, I will have to act the part as the mayor's secretary.
どうぞ、おかけください。ありがとうございます。
Whoops. The moment I make that decision, I'm already doubting myself. I don't know what the timing is for when a secretary should sit down.
そう、鉄。何をぼーっと突っ立っているんだい？
A sudden shift to friendly words. I can't tell Kisaki's intention. But if that's the distance she wants to set, the more polite I am, the more it may seem superficial.
いや、着席をしていいものかどうか迷ってな。
いいに決まっている。友人の兄を立たせておくほど、僕は礼儀知らずじゃないよ。
友人の兄？
There's a sign, or perhaps a hint.
響は何と言って君に面会を求めたのだ？
兄さんとポーレットさんが木崎先輩とお話ししたがってますと言っていたよ。
なるほど。
I understand now about why Urakami isn't here as well.
ではこれは肩書きなしの個人と個人と個人との三者面談なのか。
Why did you say Kujin so many times?
僕の方はそのつもりだよ。
Kisaki smiles suggestively.
お互いに。その方がいろいろと都合いいんじゃないかと思ってね。ご配慮ありがとうございます。
Paulette's attitude doesn't change, but that's her acting naturally. Whoa. What is this angle? After hearing the agreement from Paulette, there's no need to be reserved. I sit myself down on the chair to calm down.
大まかな話は響から。
お人よマイントレジャーのことなら。面白い案だよね。お話としては。お話としてはですか。
She is holding back, but she sounds dissatisfied. Kisaki doesn't seem to mind one bit.
まあね。現時点ではただのお話と僕は感じた。現実のものとするためのハードルが高すぎる気がして。
具体的には？
そうだね。例えば。
Kisaki stands up from her seat and makes some coffee with a coffee maker. She told us to help ourselves, so Paulette makes 2 cups and hands me one.
ポジションの問題なんてどうかな。
ポジション？
Paulette and I sit together. Across from us is Kisaki.
位置関係のポジションじゃない。立場、態度のポジションさ。
She can see everything we're thinking, but we don't know what she sees. Then what should we do?
それってどういうことでしょう？
Before I consider asking, Paulette's already started. Kisaki grins in satisfaction to that question.
例えば、ひないポーレットさん。君は右田宗哲くんを随分と高く評価している。はい。
In an instant, An innocent answer without a speck of bashfulness. To be quite honest, it makes me happy.
しかし、右田相鉄くんが仮に、そうだな、熊焼酎にはまってアル中になり能力低下したとする。
そんなこと。
仮にだよ。それに、ないと断言できる話でもない。
No one knows about the future. That's why Paulette can't protest Kisaki's theory.
能力低下が仕事のミスをも呼び起こす。周囲からも苦情が寄せられるようになる。
Paulette's cheeks puff up ever so slightly. Seeing that, she's expressing discontentment. Also makes me happy.
さて、その右田相鉄くんをポーレットさんは免職させるかい？
クビになんてしません。もし万が一そうなっても、相鉄くんなら必ず立ち直ってくれますから。
じゃあ切り替えて別の質問。
Kisaki twirls a pen in her hand.
僕の部下にアル中になり周囲を困らせる男がいて、僕がその男の責任を問わないとしたらどうかな。
I understand what she means. Paulette and I are the same. We both would think it'd be irresponsible in Kisaki's current example.
それがポジションを取るということ。
Kisaki's voice remains calm. Rather, it even feels somewhat sad.
人は自分が取ったポジションに固執するのさ。過去の判断を何とか正当化しようと頑張ってしまう。
客観的に見れば誤った判断だとしても。
そう。過去の判断を正当化するため、新しい過ちを重ねてさえもしまうんだ。
Paulette's brow furrows.
術前炭鉱にポジションを取った人が、お人よにはたくさんいる。
The idea finally connects when she lets out that statement. I had no idea where Kisaki was going with that example until then.
そうか。そうした人たちにしてみれば、廃炭鉱は触れられたくない傷そのものなのか。
Unless it can be proven that their past decisions were the wrong ones. People will most likely try to forget the past and put a lid on it. Redevelopment would open up that lid and force them to look at it.
確かに、それはデリケートで難しそうな問題。
問題は他にもある。もっとずーっと深刻なものもね。
She purposefully interrupts me and looks as if it's a test.
これはポーレットさんに聞きたい。相鉄は少し黙っていてくれないかな。
そうだが。
An annoyed nod from Paulette. I can see it in her face. Could it be that her annoyance from earlier is lingering? But if that is Paulette's wish, I don't intend on going against it. I make a cross with my fingers and put it over my mouth. Kisaki nods satisfied and then resumes talking.
より深刻な問題はごく単純な問題さ。つまりは資金。そうだね、ポーレットさん。お人よ鉄道株式会社が事業主体となるのにはいくつかの問題がある。
Paulette's eyes turn straight right at Kisaki.
私が市長で社長でもあることがまず問題ですね。市の所有地を私の会社の営利のためには使えない。
うん。やってしまえば公私混同甚だしくなる。
市に賃貸料を払うようなことになれば自前での資金調達が必須となってくるけれど。
難しいだろうね。鉄道債をすでに発行しているからね。
Then why not use those railway bonds? After thinking that, I realized my own ignorance. Oh, that's right. The railway bonds are...
鉄道債は借金だから。
Paulette's voice seems weak. It's a fact that she doesn't want to admit, but she forces herself to say it anyway.
事業計画に完全な賛同を得られなければ、計画の説明自体が諸刃の剣になりかねない。
だね。取り付け騒ぎでも起きれば、お人よ鉄道のキャッシュじゃとても回らないよね。
取り付け騒ぎ
Whoops, I spoke without knowing. But it appears that my question is valid. Kisaki answers without batting an eye.
鉄道債には、満期前にも解約できるオプションが設定してあるんだ。
満期前の解約は、額面の 25% が違約金となります。ですから、普通は解約なんてありえないんです。けど。
The words following but aren't coming. After a few more moments, Kisaki's voice fills the silence.
会社が倒産してしまえば、社債は紙くずだからね。不安が高まれば、そうなるよりはとの判断も出る。
A sudden sigh. You know what? You didn't hear that. Also, welcome back, Dexter. Bullet nods to Kisaki and then speaks in a lighthearted manner.
解約が殺到してしまったら、現金が不足します。回収に、もう使っちゃってるわけですから。
なるほど。となれば現実に倒産か。噂から誠が出てしまうわけだ。あ
This isn't something that we can be carefree about. There is definitely some assemblymen who have taken the position of the Jutesen coal mine in the past and are now aircraft factory supporters. And what would happen if we carelessly brought this proposal to the assembly? The factory supporters could purposely spread rumors about some business worries. If that were to happen. Never mind the mine treasure plan. Ethereal Railway itself might go under.
ね。現実化には高いハードルが多いだろう。おまけに、ハードルが倒れた時の悪影響は致命的。
Kisaki's eyes look at me coldly. As if saying, don't interrupt anymore. This time she demands that I follow through on that promise.
わかるよね。そんなことになったら、どれほど多くの人に迷惑をかけてしまうか。
Something odd is going on with Paulette. She has gone pale and her body is shaking.
この案、それでも進めるのかい？
It's easy. The answer should come naturally, but Paulette doesn't answer right away. In that instant, it all connects. I finally understand. So this is it. Paulette must have fallen into the state when she was being heckled at the assembly. When I felt that, I searched through my memories to understand. During the hearing, Miyamoto seemed so surprised. I finally understand. You've said that so many times. Just stop saying you finally understand, okay? No, that's not entirely true. I think I was able to understand because it's me. Well, it has some deep emotional scars somewhere. And that's being brought out right now. From inside out, little by little, It tries to chip away at her logic in an attempt at forcing her to surrender.
私、
But Paulette hasn't given up. Her eyes are pleading to me. In that case, rip. As promised, I won't say anything. In exchange, I hold her hand. I'm right here. I'll support you. I try to tell her that with my eyes.
私、この件、持ち帰ります。再検討します。
そうか。そうだね。それが一番いいだろうね。
A smile, a very warm smile, doesn't. A very warm smile doesn't seem to be from the business end. That doesn't seem to. Whatever. Kisaki then holds out her right hand to Paulette.
おかげでいい話し合いができました。ありがとうございます。
いえ、こちらこそ。
それから、相鉄にもありがと
う。僕もか。僕は何もしていないが。
いやいや、案外そうでもないよ。
Kisaki stands up while saying that. He looks at Paulette and then at me.
期待をしても悪くなさそうだと教えてもらえた。君にだけじゃなくて、君たちにだけどね。
A long exhale, and her hand slowly stretches out to the teacup.
はあ、珍しいです。ポーレットがミルクもお砂糖も入れないなんて。
そういう気分の時もあるのさ。人間だからな。
はわ、やっぱりレイルロードとは違うのですね。
Rana drinks from her usual flask. Considering what she says, it must be, she must be having the same diesel fuel from the same maker.
違わないと思う。人間もレイルロードも、揺れるのと揺れないの、強いのと弱いのがいるだけで。そうなんですか
Rana looks up at me. For some reason, Paulette won't answer. Paulette seems to be waiting for my response too.
確かにいる。が、それも決して不変ではない。弱い者が強くもなれば、強い者が弱くもなる。
はあ。
I glance at Paulette and then nod. Rana seems convinced.
レイナはきっとまだ弱いから、そういう気分がわからないのですね。違うかな。きっと弱さをまだ知らないだけ。けどそんなのずーっと知らない方がいい。はあ。
A happy scream. Rana's picked up by Paulette and sat on her lap.
それで相鉄くん。
なあ。
With Rana on her lap as usual, Paulette seems to have stabilized. Her voice and expression are much more relaxed.
課題は確かに多く複雑ではあるな。が、それはヒントをもらえたということでもある。
そうですよね。
She slowly puts words together.
宝生さん、その気になれば、この計画も 会社だって潰せたんですから。
だな。
Kisaki didn't do that. She even said that she had hopes for us.
つまり、僕たちにはまだ可能性があるということだ。ならば僕らが考えるべきは、そうするための次の一手だ。
そうですね。まだ実際には何も動いてないですもんね。
ああ。
But we did receive a warning. If we move carelessly, we can be attacked and crushed. This is that sort of matter.
協力者を求めることや意見募集は、ひとまず中断するべきかもしれんな。
ですね。妙な噂が立っちゃう前に、準備できるだけ固めないと。
不安要因をできる限りに減らすためには、何よりもやはり、資金の見通しを明確にすることか。
そう思います。とにかく、いくら必要になりそうか、概算でも出しておかないことには。
だな。しかし、
To put together an estimate, we need a business plan. We can narrow down the scope of the facilities. We have to restore until we have a plan.
まずはミニマムで考えよう。今出ている案に必要な施設がどの程度かを。
それだと、廃宿舎の中とかも再調査しないとですね。
But you didn't the first time.
ああ、そうです。調査です。
Miranda suddenly raises her voice, probably because she's used to it. Paulette remains calm.
鉱山鉄道の調査、結果、どうなったのですか？
ああ、
We've been focusing so much on the mine treasure that we've forgotten to report on that. Granted, there really isn't anything of note to report regarding that issue.
ね、レイナ。はいです。
While spreading out the old map from Taito's room, Paulette starts explaining to Reina. Reina nods numerous times and confirms the point, while asking detailed questions along the way.
ここに沈殿池があったんですか。なら、周りの建物は先端状ですね、きっと。
The tipple.
先端状は石炭の選別をする場所のことですよ。けど、厳密な品質検査をするとかじゃなくって、石炭とボタ、石炭くずを分けて、それから石炭くずでさえない土砂とか銅線の切れ端とかを手で分けてました。
銅線？
Why did that take so long for her to say?
先端状？
I didn't even need to look at the...
石炭の選別をする場所で先端状です。
I didn't even need to look at the definition.
おう、なるほどな。
As expected from a former mining railway, Rana gleams what we thought was information not worth reporting into something more meaningful little by little.
で、この終点は炭鉱夫さんたちと掘った石炭を乗せるための駅だったんですよ、きっと。
Nods to herself. Her short fingers point at the single spot on the map.
それで、きっと、こっちの方に走る視線もあるですね。
視線？
嘘、なんで？だって、これ、発電所のマークじゃないですか。
お！
That's right. There were many power generating facilities around the mine. that mine. And because they don't have any power lines going from the city to the Jutusen coal mine,
発電所への視線。宿舎があるの、ここですよね。
her short fingers point accurately at the right location. On the map, there's the power station and dormitories. It has at least a straight line distance of 5 kilometers.
こんなとこまで山道越えて歩けないですよ。だから絶対視線があったって思います。そうよね。人員も資材も運ばなくちゃいけないし、それに考えてみたら鉄道資材がどこにもなかった。
I would think that they'd dismantle them and haul them away, but if they did that, they would leave behind the tracks of factory equipment. Then where, for example, along the branching lines?
行きましょう、相鉄くん。
The usual Paulette is coming back. In her eyes is a strong glint.
お手柄だな、レイナ。
I pat her head, and she closes her eyes in comfort.
レイナ、お役に立てたなら嬉しいですよ。
できれば、これからさらにお役に立ってもらいたい。
Paulette nods in agreement.
術船配炭工の再調査。レイナにも同行してもらいたい。
Hooray, Reina. Reina, never mind. Maitetsu. Never let me cook. We walk with the gravel making crunching noises under our feet. What? Yeah. We step on the grass to reveal the tracks, trying to remember their original purpose. Kato with good wishes and a support log, wishing you a great dream, stranger. Thank you, meow, for the hydrate.
しかし、86には助けられたな。
そうですね。ちょっと盲点でした。
Then just draw Kiha 7 with 8620. Draw Kiha 7 as any other passenger car. Hatsuroku's comment released Paula and Reina from today's commute schedule.
一日フルに使えるとやっぱり余裕が違いますよね。
うん。おかげで成果も出せてる。
We exchanged cheerful words, increasing our feelings of accomplishment.
発電所の状態も思っていたよりずっと良かった。あれならあるいは再稼働さえ可能であるかもしれん。
ですね。けど、
She looks away a bit worried.
なぎちゃんの件、大丈夫でしょうか？
大丈夫だろう。
Today, 8620 is managed under Hachiroku with Hibiki as the engineer and Nagi as the engineer assistant. Well, its worry is a valid one, but I said that as a statement to prevent her from increasing her worries.
体力は十二分だし、機関助手としての訓練も受けている。センスの良さに至っては、86先生のお墨付きだ。
ああ、いえ、その方面じゃなくて。
ん？
Well, it kicks up some grass. I doubt she did it on purpose, but because of the bad footing, it made quite a loud noise.
約束させられたじゃないですか、相鉄くん。なぎちゃんの仕事、一つ代わりにやってあげるって。
ああ、そのことについても問題あるまい。ナギは竹を割ったような性格だしな。
If it's as if there's nothing twisted about her being. She's not good at calculation or negotiation either. Right.
美濃笠さんの手伝いか、あるいは川下りの方の手伝いか、どちらにしても謝礼としては妥当となろうさ。
それならいいんですけど。レイナ？
どうした？
I turn around and see Raina crouched down on the ground.
あ、転んじゃったのね。大丈夫？はい。レイナは平気ですよ。
Ah. I see some tree roots. Perhaps she tripped and lost her balance. I had intended on stamping the ground to make it easier to walk on.
これは配慮が足りなかったな。僕らには小さな障害も、レイナの歩幅では。
大丈夫ですよ。レイナ、ちょっとうっかりしちゃっただけで。
うっかりしたのは僕らの方だ。
I was so focused on the conversation that I walked at my usual pace. I knew that it was too fast for Raina. Then why aren't you picking her up and carrying her?
レイナ、足を伸ばしてみて。はい。
With her still sitting on the ground, Raina stretches out her right leg, and Paulette holds onto it. Paulette starts moving Raina's knee and ankle to check her joints. I'm glad she doesn't seem to be hurt.
レイナ、平気って言ったですよ。
いや、平気ではなかろう。
I give Raina a hand to help her up, and then swoop. Yeah, so like, why didn't you do this from the start so that she wouldn't actually be injured? I carry her, and Raina makes a low-volume scream. I'm a bit taken back by her reaction.
どこか痛むのか？
いいえ、レイナ、ちょっとびっくりしちゃっただけです。
She's into it.
なぜ驚く？
整備ボディでは抱っこほとんどされることってないですか
ああ。
To me, railroads are meant to be carried, so I did it without thinking much about it. It's true that Hachiroku in her operation body is the same size as a doll.
驚かせてすまなかったな。もしも嫌なら。
嫌じゃないです。抱っこ、楽ちんで嬉しいです。
She states her honest opinion, and then stretches her neck.
それに、遠くまで見えますよ。これならきっとすぐに見つけられちゃいます。
頼もしいな。よろしく頼む。
はいです。いいの？
Damn! I didn't know Paulette would get jealous of Raina. She mumbles. I turn to look at Paulette, and to my surprise, her eyes are full of envy.
おう、ポーレットも抱っこしてほしいのか？
はい、ですけど大丈夫です。まだ全然歩けちゃいますし。
She didn't even deny it. It's probably not possible to carry both of them. I mean, it probably is, just, you know, as long as they're not too heavy. But if I have Raina on my shoulder, I can still carry Paulette.
ならば、疲れたら言ってくれ。ポーレットには、議会も社長業もあるのだからな。
She gives a big nod, and then becomes light-footed for her next steps. I see. She had plenty of energy left. Still, we looked around the sedimentary pond and around the dam to find the traces of the branching lines. We're not following those branches on the way back from the power plant. We're now following those branches on the way back from the power plant. She has no hesitation in her step. It means she trusts Reina that much. According to Reina, the passenger car facilities should be up ahead. Reina's voice. I'd been staring at the ground, but I began to look up. However, I don't see anything special in particular.
どうしたのレイナ、ご機嫌ね。ですね。レイナ、思ったんです。レイナ、赤ちゃんみたいだなって。
I was about to say, do not fucking tie this back to being Reina's like the kid, Paulette's the mom, and Sotetsu's the dad.
赤ちゃん？
そうです。それで、相鉄さんがお父さんで、ポーレットがお母さんなのですよ。
Fuck off. Now that she mentions it, if someone saw us right now, they'd think we were a married couple. Without the rings, though. It makes my cheeks feel a bit warm. Warmer.
No.
A sharp call that seems to have an edge to it. Paulette isn't looking at me, but up ahead.
相鉄くんはどうですか？なりたいですか？お父さんとか。
I don't think that's the question you should be asking.
それは。
I don't know how to answer. Is it something you want to become? I've never even thought about it.
相手が誰とかそういうんじゃなく、その一般論としてどうかなって。
I feel a chill down my spine. Paulette doesn't seem to be on edge. Paulette didn't seem to be on edge. She's obviously on edge, as if something is chasing her. Yeah, her feelings for you are chasing her. No, this is... I think it's the same. It's like when Paulette went pale when she couldn't answer Kisaki's question.
僕は今まで一度たりとも父になりたいかどうかなど考えたこともなかった。
So I answer as honestly as I can. I believe that the answer to this question is important to Paulette.
事故を僕は経験して自分の双子を半身をなくしてしまっているから。
はい。
A quiet nod. I don't sense any agitation. It feels as if she's just really listening and empathizing. That's enough to calm me. I feel as if that filters out all unnecessary emotions inside of me.
だから自分もいつか死ぬとそれまでの生と考えて父となる子をなすことなど想像もしていなかった。
Looking so honestly leads me to finding out an emotion buried deep inside of me.
けれど今はなってみたいと感じる気持ちもある。それと同時にとても怖いという気持ちも。
Paulette's shoulders twitch. Her eyes are still fixated up ahead.
そうですよね。怖いですよね。そういうの。
Her mumbling is unexpected, so I don't know how to react. Seeing how she interacts with Reina, I think Paulette is filled with maternal instinct. It's also because she's a woman. then I don't know what it is she deems scary or what those things refer to. I don't think I can ask her right away. If I ask, Paulette will ask me what I want to hear. I won't be able to answer honestly. But Paulette doesn't say anything. She may be waiting for me to speak. Loud footsteps continue to stamp the ground.
おー、あった、ありました。
Saved by the Reina again. Saved. I'm sure she's thinking the same. That voice raises my temperature. Joy, surprise, accomplishment. It blows away the heavy silence that had been enveloping us.
箇所？はい、やっぱりありました。相鉄さん、下ろしてくださいな。
うん。
After letting her down from my arm, Reina runs to the freight car. Naturally, Paul and I follow suit.
おー、すごいです。眼球車の無害貨車です。状態、とってもいいですよ。
ああ、そう見えるな。
放置期間、相当長いはずですよね。なのに、これ。
A cover in oil. Both of them must have been deliberately applied. The protected freight had a black glow to it and shows no signs of rust.
か15形式か10って書いてあります。この会社鉱山鉄道の10系の6番目の貨車。
会社のオリジナルの貨車なのか。
わかりません。私車両は詳しくないから。でもこんなタイプ見たことないですし、多分オリジナル。
While saying that, Bullet starts looking through the freight car.
あ、でもこれ課題じゃない。台枠がむき出しなんだ。課題増設しないとダメですね。
ああ、すまん。課題とは、ああ、いや、その前にまず、環球車の無害貨車とは、なんだ。
あ、ごめんなさい。環球車っていうのは、車掌さんが乗るブレーキがついてる車両です。
車掌がブレーキを操作するのか。
はい。貨車って何十両もの編成になるじゃないですか。
What the fuck is going on?
そうか。なるほどな。
If you sat in the 8620's cab, you'd be able to tell, but you'd have almost zero if you sat in the 8620's cab, you'd be able to tell, but you'd have almost zero rear visibility. Even if you turn around, all you'd see is the tender at most.
運転士に見えない後方で異変が発生したときに、車掌が非常ブレーキをかけられるようになっているのか。
ですです。で、無害貨車っていうのは、蓋、天井のついてない貨車ってことです。
おう。
課題、コンテナとかを乗せるための台が、台枠の上にポン付けしてある感じの貨車のことですよ。
ああ、なるほど。では、四角く周りを囲まれて、その中に貨物を入れる貨車は、有害貨車なのだな。
そうです。けど、これ、台枠、台車を受けて車体を乗せる背骨部分がむき出しで。
それで、課題の増設ということになるのか。そうしなければ、 貨物が乗せられない。
はい。けど、客車と違って乗り心地とか考える必要がないですから、課題増設は比較的簡単にできるはずです。
まあ、極端な話、荷物の重さに耐えてさえくれれば済むわけだしな。
そうですね。ですから、再生可能かどうかは。オッケーっぽいです。パレット。
お、
She must have been checking each part quietly. Rena has gotten her outfit dirty, and she gives us a bright smile while waving at us.
この子、台車も台枠も、多分、ほとんど劣化ないです。そうなの？はーい。キハ07で引いてあげれば、きっとすぐにでも、レールの上を走れちゃうですよ。
Rena then turns her back to us.
あっちにも箇所あるみたいです。レイナ、ちょっと見てきますね。気をつけてね。はいです。
We see Rena off, and Paulette begins checking out the caboose on her own. As if proving what Rena says, her smile gradually grows larger.
夢みたい。どう考えても10年以上は放置されてるはずなのに。
発電所を見た時も思ったのだが、
はい。
放棄ではなく、一時撤退のつもりであったのかもしれんな。
She opens her mouth slightly before nodding ever so slowly.
もう一度、鉱山を再開できるって信じて。
そうだな。今考えてみれば、行動自体も同じかもしれん。設備のほとんどはそのまま残されていたような気が。
ですね。だからカバーとオイルで保護をして。
そう考えれば、この状況を説明しやすいような気がする。
Around the closed Jutsen coal mine station, near the areas where there was still traffic right when the mines closed down, somebody's stolen the tracks and cross ties.
鉱山関係の人たちは復活を諦めていなかった。だからこうしてバトンを残してくれていた。
ああ。
The race was stopped short. Jesus, I can't say that. The abandoned tracks are buried under the weeds. But the baton they had previously laid before us is just waiting for someone to pick it up.
ならば、僕たちがそれを受け継ぐ。形は変えても、こいつを再び生き返らせる。
はい。
It makes me think that it's the same. Michiko still hasn't arrived at the final stop. Not me, not Hachiroku, not this caboose. Not only that, maybe Paulette too. Tato told me this. Maybe this is what it means to atone. I can see it. The goal that's before me. If I can run together with Paulette, I think we can make it this time.
まず、必要となるのはレールの復活か。
そうですね。それは深見ちゃんのおじいさん、関さんたちと相談してみての話になりますね。
レールを戻せたら、その先は？
キハ07でこの環境車や他の貨車たちも引いてきて、まずはこの子に課題をつけることになると思います。
課題をつけて石炭を運べるようにするのか。
その方が体験採掘の雰囲気出ると思うんです。無害貨車に淡水車みたいに石炭を山積みにして。
そうだな。そうすれば確かに見た目での達成感が。いや、 そういう話なら宝箱はどうだ？
Her blue eyes round out.
宝箱ですか？
うん。お人よマイントレジャーなのだからな。宝箱に石炭を山積みの方がより雰囲気が出るだろう。
そうですよね。宝箱。石炭ぎっちりの宝箱をたくさん乗せて。いいですね。
安全面で問題がなければ、この環球車の車掌室に宝箱の番人として観光客を乗せるのもいいかもしれん。
掘った石炭と引き換えられる特典にするといいかもです。マニア層にはきっとすごく人気出るような気がします。
うん。しかし、そうなると、課題と宝箱とも、いい加減な作りにはできんな。
ですね。8620修復の時に知り合った技師さんたちに設計面のことは相談しなくちゃならなくなりますね。
設計ができたとして、作る方は、お人よでできれば一番良いと思うのだが。
課題の方は美濃笠さんに相談ですね。宝箱はもともとお人よは木工も盛んですし。
ああ、そうか。木地師の神社があるくらいだものな。
Paula nods with determination.
文化財指定の方も準備着々と重ねてます。その関係で私も確認したんですけど。
She delays her response, but by a moment for added tension, and then gives a somewhat confident smile. She looks so cheerful that it brings me sudden joy to my heart.
今も職人さんはたくさんいらっしゃるみたいです。まだ直接にお会いしたことはないんですけど。
美濃笠さんなら、きっとその方面にもつてがあろう。できれば、ご紹介を願いたいものだな。
あ、そうだ、紹介って言えば。
ん？
客車必要になるじゃないですか、86の。私、それ、マイテツ仲間に打診してるんです。
なあ。
Now that she mentions it, she's right. I'd completely forgotten due to my business with secretary work. Oh, Paulette should be much busier than I am. Not only that, she's making progress with the bank and the railway bonds, and yet she looks at everything with a careful eye and provides support in silence. It makes me realize how good her abilities are, but it also worries me. It's too much for her to bear. Because of that, I suddenly freeze, a blank expression as if all confidence is lost. It makes me realize again that I can't leave that alone.
それで、使わなくなった客車、譲ってもらえそうなんです。
そうなのか。
But it's not like that. It's not like I can do anything right away. But I want to return the favor. My emotions tell me to reach out and touch Paulette's hair.
そうですか？
ああ、すまん。僕は、これより他に褒めようを知らぬ。
いえ、すまなくなんて全然ないから。
そうか。
I continue stroking her hair. I brush my fingers through it. Just like how I did with Michiko and Hibiki when she was young. But right now, I have a different emotion inside of my heart. Love emotion.
ポーレットは本当にすごいと思う。視野の広さも、怠らず手当てをすることも。
そんな、私なんて全然。
だから、時折不安になるのだ。無理をさせすぎているのではないかと思ってしまう。
Paulette's lips quiver. She looks up at me with pleading eyes. Which is why I continue on.
苦しいことがあるなら、僕に聞かせてほしい。僕は、 ポーレットを支えたい。
そうですか。
うん。
Her eyes, blue as ever, waver. But then they hide behind her eyelids. Paulette turns away just a little.
ありがとうございます。けど、私平気です。まだ頑張れるし、きっと、必ず、お役に立てます。
そうか。
In that case, I shouldn't take another step. I tap her lightly on the head and let go. A slightly saddened voice and gaze, but Paulette won't take another step either. Right now, this is the distance between us. I can't touch her behind this invisible wall.
ありましたよ。すぐに使えそうな貨車は、もう一台。状態、あんまり良くないのも、2台あります。
そんなにか。
すごいわ、レイナ。よく見つけてくれたわね。えへへ。レイナ、頑張りました。
Wanting to be petted and praised, Raina runs over. Paulette picks her up off the ground. The weakness in Paulette's face from earlier is completely gone now.
ねえ、そうてつくん。貨車、使わないのが出るようなら、客車との交換材料にもできますよね、きっと。
なるほど。しかし、この貨車群も死に譲渡されたものではないのか？
ああ、そうですよね。それは議会で審議してもらって、譲渡なり売却なりしてもらわなくちゃになりますね。86にも客車がついたら、お人よ鉄道、すごく賑やかになりますね。ねえ。
They're talking lovingly to each other at a distance where their noses can touch. Paulette's been her usual self again. Is she purposefully hiding it? Because she's in front of Raina? In that case, I'll follow suit. If Paulette wants to hide her weakness, I'll support her discreetly.
ともかく、ひとまずは移動だな。行動と廃宿舎も調査して、それで戻って間に合う時間だ。
After taking the train back to Ohitoyo, they'll turn 8620 around and wait for us at the closed Jutsusen coal mine station. There's no problem if we get there early and have to wait for a while, and have to wait for them. But if we make them wait, they'll definitely get worried.
テキパキ動こう。焦らず、けれども雑にならずに。
Fucking doesn't let me press the enter key. This time, Rena trots over to me. I pick her up so we can move around easier. Just as a precaution, I ask Paulette.
抱っこはどうだ？必要ならば言ってくれ。
ははまた面白かこと考えましたね。
Old man Munakasa appears to be genuinely interested in the idea. When I see this part of him, it makes me realize that he really is Nagi's grandfather.
課題やらの方は図面ばもらえばなんとでも。大物は大物で任せられるもんもおりますからな。
ありがとうございます。
いやいや、こちらこそ仕事もらえるわけですけんね。
He tightens up his expression and then turns back to Paulette.
で、市長さんのおっしゃられる通り、お人よはもうこう 執行にも古か歴史を持つ町とです。
Perhaps it's because we're talking about work today. He calls Paulette mayor.
蓄光とは、蓄は竹細工？
そぎゃんとですな。お人よの滝海ば、日の元中から求められてありますや。
弓ですか？
I glance at Paulette and she shakes her head, as if to say she didn't know. The amount in production is probably so small that it doesn't even go on record. But people who are in the know must be aware of it.
では、その木工や蓄光の技術を使い、先ほどお話ししたような宝箱をお作りいただくことは？
できるできんで言えばできるでしょうな。やるやらんは職人それぞれの腹で決まりましょうが。
やっていただけない可能性高いとお考えでしょうか？
It seems that Paulette also sensed the ulterior message he was hinting at. Being asked directly, old man Minokasa nods and slowly drinks his tea.
宝箱ば一度作ったら何年も何十年もそこに置かれっぱなしになりますでしょ。
You didn't hear that. I need to come up with a new bit in between stopping and starting recordings.
ああ。
I see. Assuming this plan goes well, and Ohito becomes more developed, but the treasure chests will be left behind.
作ってくださる職人さんには旨味が薄い。
いうような気が私なんぞにゃ。
では、宝箱をもっと小さく、観光客に持ち帰ってもらえるものとしてはどうでしょう？
それいい！
コンテナ代わりの大きな宝箱と、持ち帰れるそのミニチュアの手のひらサイズと。
Paulette's smile gives me passion. It gives me more and more inspiration.
持ち帰りを普段使いもできるような箱とすれば、お人よの木工、蓄光の生きた宣伝にもなるはずです。
定期継続のお仕事の依頼になりますし、評判次第で新しい特産品になっていくかもしれません。
なるほど。面白かんですな。
He slowly nods, as if to consider it thoroughly.
お客の負担となりますから、コストは抑える必要が出る。が、その中でも良い質のものを作っていただけるなら。
そここそ腕の見せ所いうもんでしょう。そがん話なら燃える職人ばいるかとも思いますな。
では、そうした職人さんへのご紹介を願えませんでしょうか？
よかです。よかですが、紹介ならナギに任せた方がまあまあよか結果になりますでしょう。
そうなのですか？
His face wrinkles up into a wry smile.
職人同士が顔合わせりゃややこしかもんいろいろ生まれますけんね。
ああ、
She must have experienced it before. Paulette's tone makes it all believable. Rather, it seems natural. Craftsmen would have their own pride and feel competitive with one another.
我が孫ながらナギには裏表いうもんが中ですけんね。まずまず飾らん話ばできるんじゃなかとかと。
Paulette also smiles when we hear that.
なぎちゃん、やっぱり職人さんたちの間でも人気者だったりするんでしょうか？
いやいや、 どこにでも顔ばらして口も出すんで邪魔にされとるだけですけんね。
Despite what he's saying, old man Minokasa is giving a big smile as he's melting away. As if he's melting away. I can tell from his face and tone that he's doting on his granddaughter.
まあしかし、あれの前で無理ばいう職人はまずおらんでしょう。
なるほど。ご配慮、ありがとうございます。
In that case, we should explain the plan to Nagi and get her support before talking to the craftsman. If we do that, Nagi will become a great pillar of support for us.
それで、そのナギなのですが。
ああ、そういえば遅かとですな。
Old man Minokasa looks at the clock on the wall.
早瀬さんとこのお手伝いば終わって、寄り道と買い食いばしても、もう戻っとる時間とですが。
電話、深見にしてみましょうか。
はい。いや、それには及ばんとです。
お。
You and I can hear it coming closer. Footsteps at a rushed pace. Actually, it's the sound of someone running.
じいちゃん大変ばい。兄さんも来とったとちょうどよかばい。
何事だ？
She's drenched in sweat. Her face is red and she's out of breath. Nagi wouldn't be the kind to be this desperate. Nagi wouldn't be the kind to be this desperate to just come home. Yep.
猫、溺れとったばい。それで、深見ちゃん助けに川に飛び込んで。
現場はどこだ？警察は？
違うばい。溺れとらんばい。深見ちゃんカッパのごたる泳ぎよるけん。よかった。
Paulette breathes a sigh of relief. But we're not out of the woods yet. If that were all, Nagi wouldn't have run all the way here.
ならば、何が大変なのだ？
そればい。そのまま川下りば再開して、終わったら深見ちゃんブルブル震え始めたばい。
風邪をひいたか？
と思うばい。測ったら熱38度6分あったとよ。お医者様は来てくれたばい。緑おばちゃんの主治医さんだけん、そっちは全然安心ばい。3日もすれば治るばい。はあ、よかった。
No, it's not good. Not yet. I ask you the same question once more.
ならば、何が大変なのだ？
そうだったばい。予約客ばい。団体さんばい。明日の夕方の4時からばい。
Well, it freezes. A group reservation at this season. If a cancellation were to occur, it would further put the dying tourism in danger.
でも、兄さんがいて助かったばい。早速仕事変わってもらうけん使うばい。
うん。
That's it. Actually, there isn't much time. We'll have to move immediately.
ナギ、食事と休憩をとってくれ。もし可能なら、それで疲労を抜き次第。
さすが兄さん、よか覚悟ばい。
Nagi smiles and then puts her fists together with a dry popping sound.
腹ごしらえして特訓ばい。
Damn. Double fake out. Maitetsu. You're fucking. Oh, Pukami jumped into the river to save a cat. Actually, she's fine because she can swim. She's a very good swimmer. But actually, she caught a cold, so when she came out of the river, she caught a cold, but actually it's fine because the doctor's here. And then finally, there's a big reservation at 4 p.m. the next day, so you're gonna have to step up to the plate, Maitetsu, and save the town or whatever the fuck. Jesus Christ. But you're gonna have to wait until next time to see what happens next time. What? Anyway, thanks for watching. Thank you for lurking. Thank you for chatting. If you enjoyed a follow, would be appreciated, and you want to support me even further, you could always subscribe. But yeah. Tomorrow, we'll finally get back to playing Amazing Grace. But yeah. Until then, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. And I will see you guys again next time. Bye-bye.